Well, clearly we know what technology thinks of my election analysis. Not very impressed. I think when it comes to the independent vote's likely going to decide this election. If you look at the early numbers, and again, I wouldn't buy too much into the early numbers or draw too many conclusions from them, but it looks like both bases are turning out in large numbers. Now the question becomes, which way do the independents swing? Most of the polls have them swinging more towards the Democrats, but it's going to be a close race. This is going to be a race that goes into the night. We'll be talking to your News Channel 8 reporters all through the night on our election coverage, teaming up with you guys, and I think it's going to go deep into the night before we have any definitive conclusions as to who's winning big state races.
Yeah, Ryan, I think with this turnout and just such an intense political season, it's hard to know what even the pollsters are probably scratching their heads at this point.
Yeah, it's just a big unknown, and I think off of 2016, everybody's a little nervous. Do we have it right when it comes to the polls? Is there something that we're still missing? So there's a big unknown, and we'll find out tomorrow where exactly things stand. When it comes to the latest numbers, it looks like it could be good for the Democrats. But again, I wouldn't be overconfident if I were them. Florida is generally a close state, and I think that continues tomorrow.
And Ryan, as you mentioned, Florida is going to be, all eyes are going to be on Florida. It generally works that way. But what about the younger voters? I think there's an appeal to try to reach out to the younger voters who haven't voted, or maybe it's their first time. How big of a factor will they be this time around?
That's been another big unknown. Will the youth vote turn out more so than in past elections? To me, I'm not expecting game-changing numbers from younger voters, but I think it'll be up a little bit, and it could make a difference. Again, in some very close races, that could be the determining factor.
All right, Ryan Gorman from WFLA Radio, thank you so much for joining us and bearing with our technical issues. And get some good sleep tonight. It's going to be a long day tomorrow.
It is going to be. All right, thanks so much. And again, News Channel 8 is your local election headquarters. We're going to have complete coverage all day long Tuesday on air and online of all the big races. We'll also bring you results and all the reaction when those polls close. Coming up, you may want to think twice before spanking your child. We're going to tell you who is now coming out against the controversial punishment when we come back.
Next, 60 feet of overgrown weeds